some people say you have to invent policies on national level so that youth can get inspired. But I believe if one to one we can change our personal behavior towards global warming and climate change, and if we can implement the zero waste lifestyle on youth level, then maybe it will bring a very positive change in climate change. So as a youth, I believe we have to change our behavior first, then we can, in a national level, we can implement the bigger policies.
Behavior in a sense?
In a sense, like in terms of pollution. So plastic pollution is increasing day by day. So if I can use something alternative rather than plastic on my personal level, that will be maybe a very small contribution, but in a bigger picture it will keep a very good positive change among others. So on that level, personal behavior change, adapting the zero waste lifestyle may help us to see a very green environment in future, I guess.
So how do you think this program will help in mitigating climate change impact in the future?
Because here, diversified groups are here. They are sharing their work, their knowledges. So if we can grab their knowledges, their ideas, maybe we can implement that in our own countries. So I believe networking and get to know about others' work, other knowledge, personal experience will help us to collaboratively work and try to reduce the climate effect in our world, in our life.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Talking about youth, talking about our region, youth is the power. So we have quite a good number of youth. We are even we taking about all around our region. So I think youth can empower the work that we are doing in the future, which will be empower our generations which are coming. So in that case, this is a good time that we are youth. So I believe that this time the youth who are talking about green democracy, blue democracy, or green social work, or maybe about climate action, they have the knowledge. So they are coming up with the background that they have. So I think because of these, the youth who are representing all around the country, all around the region, and then all around the world as a power to talk on that. So that's the main example that I can give. So that's what I'm thinking, that youth can do a possible change in the countries all around the world.
What do you think such programs, the program we are having right now, will help in mitigating climate impact?
Exactly, yes. Because so we are coming from global south. So we have to learn from each other. So of course we are learning from European and American countries that we are coming up with that. But talking about South Asian region, we are very unique. So we have a different culture. We are pretty much of similar. So if we can, let's take for an example, if we can get, some examples that they're mitigating air pollution in India, we can adapt that, to Sri Lanka, where we can talk and advocate and make research on that, and then get that policy which will be similar way to implement in Sri Lanka. So in that case, of course, learning from each other will definitely impact on country-wise. So where we can, regionally make an impact to the world and be an example.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We need to work on the narratives that define our development. Often, the long-lasting effects of colonization are that we tend to lose a sense of identity, and we get seduced by developmental narratives that we have seen. But I believe that there is an opportunity specifically for the subcontinent, India, Nepal, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, to create unique developmental narratives that can bring self-sufficiency to our communities without costing us our environments or identities. And I feel that in the creation of those developmental narratives, there is the greatest chance for us to tackle climate change.
So how is it possible? How do you do it?
Okay, so as I said, that let's talk about 39% of global greenhouse gases are just attributed to the way that we build and operate our living environments, our cities. If 200 million people, I can say for India, have to urbanize in the next decade, what kind of living environments are we going to make for them? If we continue to use the same ways that we have learned, using hardcore, very high embodied carbon materials, then we will contribute to the climate change. But can we use sand, mud, lime, things that we have used traditionally to create these living environments? Can we design systems that are more circular as they were in old villages? But can we overlay on that exponential technologies that helps us reach food sufficiency, that helps us create products and services that are beneficial for the world, yet do not cost us our environments? That may be a certain way of going about it. I feel that there is a unique opportunity for cultures as rich as this part of the world to leverage their unique heritage, diversity, human dividend, and technology to create developmental narratives that can bring self-sufficiency to our regions without costing us our environments.
So what is your message to the people, to the youth of the region?
Well, my message to the youth, I guess, would be to look more inwards and to design the communities that they want to inhabit on first principles, wherein you think about the environment, you think about the community, then the individual, and then the efficiency of its systems. In that order, I believe can be very, very helpful.
Thank you so much.
You're most welcome.
Youth are the driving forces of this region. As you know, in this region there is millions of people and millions of youth also, and youth have adverse effect on climate change. I can say that youth can be a force for the climate mitigation in terms of climate impacts in all the South Asian region. They can be make a voice for climate justice. They can be make a strategy and innovation, especially the resource we have available. We can use it and we can make a better future. Because climate change has adverse effects, especially in the coastal areas of the Bay of Bengal. I have a significant talking about our transboundary rivers. As you know, Himalaya has a biggest rivers in this region, and we have adverse effects in Bangladesh. Every year, 5 lakhs, 500,000 people due to river erosion. They have no home. They have homeless. Yeah, they have displaced. And they make effects on our city, and there is no sustainable development. They have left behind. I want to talk to about them, because if we cannot inclusion of these people, there is no significant change in these matters.
Okay, so yearly it's like more than how many people are displaced yearly?
Every year, 500,000 in Bangladesh, only Bangladesh.
So what's the government doing to address this problem?
Government do as usual so-called development, but the development is about by implementing by the bureaucracy. They have no accountability, they have no transparency to the people, and they have no relation with also people, and people didn't have a significant policy making or significant participation in the implementation of development process, and thus people left behind more and more.
So are there any non-governmental organizations that are working to address this problem?
Yeah, many of the organizations like me. I have also an organization. We are working from the grassroots to the policy making level, and we want to make a development sustainable, and we want to make the people inclusion in all those implementation process of the development. And so-called development, we are working to make the course in a changing, transformative change.
The river course. The course of the river.
Not the course, not the river course. It is the development course.
Development course.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I think being a youth myself, I think we youth should collaborate each other in making a better place because we have been facing a lot of climate changes and in our country as well we have been facing like flash floods, increase in temperature and melting of glaciers and stuff like that. So I think like being an entrepreneur as well, we should collaborate and work together to make a better place and you know, not just making a better place, but also help in decrease in climate change or global warming happening right now.
So, what would be your message to the youth of this region?
Yeah. So being a youth myself, I think yes, studying is also very, very important, but we should also take care of what we do, especially we are literally very careless with our waste. So let's start with small, take care of our waste, and then think big and make a better place to live in.
Thank you so much again.
Thank you so much.
In South Asia, youth are not advocating for climate change because youth have taken this issue personally because it's about their future. So youth must take position, youth must take action in climate change discourse, climate change policy because they have a future to live, and it's not fight for today's generation, it's fight for next generation. So youth should participate in climate discourse, a climate action program, and the role of youth is youth can work in climate action process, youth can make climate policies, and youth can lead climate movement globally too. So that's why youth have important role in climate resilience and climate change action program.
What message do you have to the especially
For youths of Nepal, I want to say everyone that this is intersectional issue, climate change is intersectional issue, and being intersectional issue, youth have important role to play in climate action process. So I urge everyone, I call everyone to join global climate movement, and I am also we just met in my honorable environment minister 1 week ago. We presented him a document to declare climate emergency in Nepal, and he is advocating for to declare climate emergency in Nepal. So join us in this movement. I would like to say everyone.